Think of money as tools, and the more tools you have, the more ability you have to work on something, right? So, for example, if you're working on building a house, you would at least need a hammer, right? And you need other tools as well. You need hand tools, you need big machines, you need all sorts of things. And if you don't have any of this stuff, it's gonna be a lot harder. And the more tools you have at your disposal, let's say you get access to a excavator, you get access to like bobcats, you get access to power tools, and the more tools you have, the more ability you have to work on bigger and bigger houses, and faster you can work on these houses, right? So that's what basically money does for you. All right, welcome back to Level With Me. Today I want to talk about money, and we'll keep going with our Final Fantasy XIV playthrough. In the last episode, we've rescued the Elder for the fairies, or whatever they're called, and we're just reporting back to Bascaran. And we'll talk a little bit about money as well, because something happened in my life and that kind of inspired me to think about money. And of course, everybody thinks about money. It's one of the most important part of life, other than your health, perhaps. You're back. Tell me the self, right? Self Elder as well. Oh, she is. Thank the gods for that. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of the rest of your tale, but I'm full glad Phyrexian didn't come to any harm. But there I go, tempting fate, run over to Little Solace and secure us peace with selves before aught else befalls us, eh? Rest assured, I'll send word to our friends the Charlatan and the Twin Adder both. You've done Gardania a great service this day, lass, and earned yourself a place of honor here at the Druthers in so doing. Be sure and come by whenever you feel like a drop of chittering fire water. Ooh. Actually, I think we did end up getting some nice armor, and we'll just take the gold, honestly. Alright, let's keep going with the quest. He's got something he wanted to deliver to the selves. Okay, say friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the selves of Little Solace, this Asma Rose Oil. It's a gift to celebrate the safe return of their tribe's elder and a token for Gradania's desire to unite. The wood is not what it once was. The calamity changed their elementals, weakened them until their strength is returned. We must lend them ours to keep the woods safe, but ours alone would not be enough. We must have the strength of the selves as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together, and the 12 woods with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that both Gradania and Sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness. Sure. Oh my goodness. That's so cool. I really like the customization here. Very cool stuff. Alright, yeah, so let's go deliver that stuff while riding our little chocobo. And we'll talk a little bit about money and what I was thinking about, right? The reason I wanted to talk about money is because one of my friends just recently bought a house, which is a big deal, right? It is probably one of the most important financial decisions you're going to make in your entire life. And we came to talk about money, how much money they have, what kind of house they can afford, and how much saving they have. Now, luckily, they had a house before. They bought a house about 9-10 years ago, and they managed to sell the house for a tidy little profit. So they have some money laying around, which is fantastic. But then we were asking, hey, well, that's great that you have all this money coming from that house, and now you're wanting to buy a bigger house that's closer to the city and better school for their kids. So, how much money have you saved up in the meantime, when you were buying the house, or when you bought the first house, now that you've sold it 10 years later? Now, they managed to actually rent the house out, which actually helped a lot, because is this the way to go? Because they didn't have to pay anything on mortgage or anything, so the house was basically supporting itself. So they've managed to haven't really spent a whole lot of time on there, and plus they're living together with their parents, which is really great because they save a lot of money that way. Did we? Yeah, we have. Okay. And they didn't really save anything. It's not like they make very little money. They make decent money. Right, they make probably, I don't know how much exactly, I didn't ask, they didn't tell me. So I'm guessing, average, maybe like 150,000 together. And that's not a small amount. And they were saying over the 10 years they've owned the house, they've only saved like $30,000 or $40,000. Alright, while living at home, mind you. A gift from Walking One Bhaskaran. A gift for these ones? Yes, there you go. Have the oil. Such a lovely scent. This one has never smelled anything like this before. Walking One Bhaskaran and Adventuring One are very kind. You know that this one is deeply grateful. Many walking ones are scary, many walking ones utter many lies and much deception, but this one is moved. Let all these ones be friends forever. Yay. Oh. Yeah, let's take the armor. Let's put that on. Can't remember which button that was. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. And, you know, it may sound a little weird to say, hey, you've only managed to save $30,000 or $40,000, which is a good amount, right? Don't get me wrong, saving anything is better than saving nothing, of course. But I kind of expected them to save a little bit more, right? Because they're living at home, they don't really have a whole lot of expenses because their parents cover all the food and the rent and all that stuff. This one has been expecting Walking One. This one fetched Elder One. Okay. Ferrixio, I believe is the name, yeah? Yeah. This one is pleased to see Walking One again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Hey, Papalimo, and whatever her name was. Ah, there you are, Verona. We've just been hearing the tales of your deeds of Daringo. Well done. I think that's his voice. Or at least as close as I can do it anyway. Ah, Walking Ones who aided Norexia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. If you do not mind my asking, how did your misadventure come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking Ones called them, of this one began when Imperial Ones entered the wood. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial Ones closely. But these ones watched too closely. Then the Imperial Ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled into Totorak. With that, this one had not. In Totorak, a sinister one robed in black tried to feed this one to a many-legged one. The spider. Ira, oh, that's her name, Ida. A sinister one robed in black? Why do I have the feeling I should be more worried about that than I am? Yeah, you should. What's the deal? Who is it? Elder Ferrixio. Elder Ferrixio, we come to you as emissaries of the nation of Gardenia. This missive bears the word of the Elder Seatseer. There you go. Just a letter. This one sees. So Walking Ones of Gardenia are fearful of Lord Ramah. Yeah, well, who isn't? Plainly put, yes. Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Living but once. Yet the single occurrence occasioned great alarm. But it's not as if the Gardenians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Stacia wrote to you. This one well knows and respects the Horned One Count Isana. Be assured, like Walking Ones of Gardenia, these ones have no desire for conflict. Okay, so how the fuck do we start? These ones resorted to summoning Lord Raman to protect the woods from Imperial Ones. This one concealed against doing so, but was not heeded. Okay. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramar was summoned, and all those ones who took part became torched ones. Oh, so they all got burned, huh? These ones want so desperately to turn torch ones back to normal ones, but did not know how, and still do not know. Touched ones, meanwhile, wanted to turn these ones into touched ones. Oh, did not know how. So this one fled to little solace with all those ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramah. Is that Lord Ramah? But Walking Ones of Gardenia need not fear touched ones or Lord Ramah. Unlike the other primals, Lord Ramah is not callous and cruel. As long as Walking Ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homeland, where where torched one or touched ones reside, walking ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one has spoken enough of the touched ones. This one will speak instead of these ones. As this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Gridania, and so these ones ask for a chance to set things right. Okay, well, how are you going to do that? By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempted to come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of sylphs, Rama's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland. That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers. But what about the abductions? A fine question it are. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of tempered sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Rama. In the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold, a timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Okay. Elder Phyrexio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to the honored one Kanisena. Oh, fucking hell, I gotta deliver the letters again. God damn it. That's basically all I do. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Rama to rest. Alright. The self-elders are very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him. Oh, it's a he. Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if we punch her on the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable. Anyway, we're going to head back to the waking sands and tell Minifila all about it. Minfilia. Oh my god. It's been a while since I've read all these names, you know what I'm saying? Fear not. We will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. And while we see to that, we would appreciate it if you would deliver Phyrexio's missive to the Adder's Nest. Of course I will. That's what I do, a glorified messenger. Elder Phyrexio, we humbly thank you for your time. It's been an honor. Bye. The honor is this one's. Together, let the walking ones of Gridania and these ones find a way to live in peace. Alright. They just disappear into the bush. Please wait. Walking one Varana. Yes. What you got? This one has yet to give walking one a token of one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Rama, these ones were gifted with crystal. This one will now bestow the crystal upon walking one as a symbol of this one's trust. Oh. Is that the second one I got now? Is it the second one or the third one? I can't remember. Let me see. Okay, I guess third one then. Nice. Yeah, anyway, yeah, but about saving money, it's really, I feel like, okay. Now, there's different situations. Depending on the family, depending on your situation. This one was not mistaken about walking one. What is it? Warrior of Light? Walking one is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. Oh, that doesn't sound good, dude. A brilliant light from within walking one enveloped the crystal this one saw. Mark this one well. That crystal will one day be of use to Walking One. Walking One must keep that crystal safe at all times. Okay. Before Walking One returned to Gardania, this one would ask Walking One to watch touched ones. Why? As long as touched ones are not trouble, touched ones will not make trouble. Okay? If Walking One witnessed touched ones making no trouble, mayhaps Walking One can testify to Walking Ones of Gardania that these ones mean no harm. These ones' homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down safe places to look out for touched ones. I was like, observe them. That's what they meant by look out for them. Alright, I'm not gonna do any of the side quests just yet, because I was gonna do some side quests on later on off camera. I think that would be good. Alright, let's head back and observe the touched ones. Gotta creep on them. A little voyeuristic, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Anyway, so different people have different financial situations, and I'm not saying if you're not saving a ton of money, you're doing something wrong. You know, it's not that. It's just in their particular situation, because I know them, because I'm friends with them, I've known them for a long time. I feel like it's okay to say, hey, maybe, just maybe, they should have saved a little bit more money. I was over the blah 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 location on lookout for. Oh, I gotta do the slash lookout, right? Slash lookout. Look around. Okay, that's cool. I like some of these actions actually. As part of the quest, it's interesting, I think. And then I realized something is that, right? I was talking to another friend. I was talking about how they didn't save money and things like that, and the friend and I, we're kind of savers. As in, we like to save money. And her idea was to achieve FIRE, right? Financial independence, retire early, and that's her ultimate goal from saving as much money as she could. And I'm not that extreme, but I also think I'm more of an investment kind of thinking. I'm thinking I want to use money to make more money. I don't really care for retirement all that much. There are temper sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. So I was thinking then, I was talking to the friend, and she was talking about how there are spenders, there are savers, and the other friend of mine who didn't save a whole lot of money are obviously spenders, because they've spent a lot of money. And that makes sense, because I feel like there's a lot of people that are spenders. In fact, maybe most people are spenders. We'll just teleport, it'd be faster. And it's normal, right? And the other thing is, depending on the situation, like if you, for example, work a job that doesn't pay all that well, and you have a child to support, you have a family to support, you have other expenses, you have, a number of things where it could cause you to not be able to save or derail you from your financial future, even if your financial future was, or your financial goals are to save as much as you possibly could. Things happen, right? There could be accidents, there could be emergencies, there could be things that just end up working against you, and that's okay. I'm not judging any of that. That happens, that's normal, that's okay. And terrible things do happen, and it's unfortunate, but it does happen, right? And that's not what I'm not judging people for that. And in fact, nobody should. And in fact, I'm not even judging them for spending that money. It's their money. They should do whatever how they want with it. And I can only speak for myself. However, what I want to say is that just different situations. And what we want to do is we always want to evaluate how we should spend our money. Be a little bit more careful with the money that we have, because it is a very important tool. Now, we'll talk about why money is a tool in a little bit. Private phobia. How went the meeting with the sylphs? There you go. It went well, dude. I miss it from Sylph Elder himself, if I may. So the sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Rama. And so long as we leave the temper ones be, we need not fear any regression from their part. The elder Cecil will be overjoyed to hear the sylphs are welcomed our overture. And in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources for tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done our nation a great service, Private Phobia. It will not be forgotten. When do I get a promotion, dude? I'm literally doing all the hard work, dude. Heluag appear to have more to say. What you got, dude? The Sylphic folk have long been friends of Gridania. The mere thought of being at war with them had pained the elder Cicero to no end, but owing to your efforts she will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the Scions and the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our people, suspicion and doubt may have led us into needless conflict. Pray pass on my regard to Lady Mythilia. Indeed. Oh, I'm getting a call from her on my Bluetooth. Hello, Verna, can you hear me? It is I, Mythilia. Ida and Peplimo returned some little while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with the tales of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one Primo may be struck from our list of enemies, and the Gridanians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of one tale is but the start of another. Pray return to Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. I would appraise you of the present situation in person. Yeah, the Bluetooth is not secure, you know? I guess Bluetooth couldn't go that far, but anyway. Alright, Waking Sands is good. It is. Speak with Tataru. Yeah, we'll just fly over. So honestly, 531 gills, dude. Alright, well, what's the point of having money if you don't spend it? Alright, so seeing money as a tool. I was watching this YouTube channel called Money Guys. I think it's Money Guys. You can look it up. They're great. They're financial advisors, and they talk about how to think about money. And they were saying how money is basically your little army, and each dollar bill is one of your soldiers. And the more soldiers you have, the more work you're able to get done, or workers or whatever. And each dollar bill, and they were talking about investing that dollar bill at age 20, and by the time you retire, if you invested that $1 into a index fund tracking the S&P 500 or whatever, right, something like a VOO, VUN, whatever it is, or SPY, something like that, you would end up with $88, meaning that every dollar you spend in your 20s, you're spending $20 when you're retired, like 65. And I think that's a great way to visualize how much money, or how important money is, or how important each dollar is, how much each dollar can be later on given enough time. Wow, if it isn't my favorite adventurer, welcome back, Verna. Lady Minfilia awaits you within the solar. Please enter at your leisure. I will do that. And again, I'm not saying you should save every single cent, right? While you're young, you do need to spend some money, you want to have fun, but all within reason. You don't want to spend every cent you make, right? Off note, I'm given to understand the matter of Rama has finally been resolved. Resolved, yeah. I fear resolve bespeaks a permanence we cannot rightly claim. Yet, I am well satisfied that the Lord of Lebanon will not trouble us in the foreseeable future. Alright, good enough. Your satisfaction is assurance enough for me. How fares the investigation? Well enough. Thancred is sparing no effort. There are many and one, just as you suspected. Their purpose, however, eludes us still. I see. Am I going to be helping with that? I've been meaning to ask. But is Alice quite well? I fear as if I have scarcely seen her in recent days. Oh, you haven't. Nor have I. Alas, Alice has chosen to walk her own path, stubborn girl. But maybe you're sure that our destination remained the same. Oh yeah, they had a fight, didn't they? And on that note, I take my leave of you. I trust the Baldessian report will serve you well. Baldessian? I don't. How do they come up with these names? I take it we can proceed as discussed? Why do you ask? You scarce need my permission to act. Huh. What do you... Did he just flash a smile? What is going on? And it's good to see you again, Verona. Isn't it? Oh. Wow. I've been looking forward to congratulating you on your triumph in the 12 Woods. Owing to your effort, conflict has been averted. Truly, you have done the Scions proud. With that, we can strike Ramah from the list. So, who's next? Is this Sahagin and Leviathan? The Lord of War has not answered his minions' call of late, nor is he expected to do so in the near future. While the Sahagin remain as aggressive as ever, they lack the quantity of crystals required to call forth their god. As with the Sylphs, we can leave them to their own devices, for a time at least. For a time bears repeating. We can ill afford to fall complacent. Indeed. It is as Ishtola says, unless we have the minds of the beast tribe, we cannot predict with any certainty when next a primal will return to plague the land. This being the case, we must proceed as much haste as prudence allows. Any word on Titan? The maelstrom keeps the kobolds under constant observation. We shall hear from them ere long. You may depend upon it. Burlong. I think that's how. Indeed. So then, of all the known primals that have been active in recent times, we are left with... Gridania. Wait, I mean Garuda, who is the primal of Ixal who lives near Gridania. Yes, that's what I meant. So many realms to cover. Would that there were a more efficient way to conduct our surveys? Were he still with us, we should not long have waited for a more practicable solution. Who is she referring to? She's not wrong there. Where in the world are you, Chief? Wait, who is it? Who? But one sure step at a time. Oh, are they talking about the guy who owns the staff? Oh, I can't remember his name. Henceforth, the Order of the Twin Adder will handle all matters pertaining to the Sylphs, under the sage guidance of the Seers. I bid you all enjoy a moment of respite. You've earned it. Sure have. All the delivering letters are tiring me out, dude. All the cardio, you know what I'm saying? Oh boy. Is there something else for now? I don't know. Is there? Beg pardon? A man named Lahabre? Sporting red mask and robed in black? 12 preserve. Prior to the calamity, the Asians, I believe, took great pains to remain hidden. Why would they choose to cast off their veil of secrecy now? God, this bodes ill. What is it? We must take advantage of the present lull in primal hostilities and investigate this Lahabre. Learn all we can of him and his designs. I dread to think... What is happening? Tararu? What is... Oh, no. Oh, this does not sound good. Oh. The Sylphs. What's going on? A Sylph in Thanaland? Oh no, something happened to them, didn't it? At long last, this one finds walking one Verona. This one is the most dependable of these ones. Is sent by Elder One Feroxy to help walking ones. Oh, wait a minute. This one is called Noroxia. This one comes as a friend. Let these ones be friends. Oh, okay. So, not like something bad happened. But pleasure to meet you, Norexia. Well, wouldn't we know her? I don't know, her or him. I don't know. how can you tell, right? All right, what's the situation here? Speak with Menthilia again. Okay, Menthilia, what's up? What is? Okay, all right, let's go. Yes, Tataru is ready to express her fright as she is to express everything else. Not all of us are forged of the same steel as you, I'm afraid. But it takes all kinds to make a family, and it pleases me to no end to see her continue to grow. By one, the people of Eorzea are beginning to unite. We're not drawn to the hope that shines within you. Yet, a darkness threatens to engulf this light. Never have I doubted the Asians' presence, but that they have grown so brazen as to carry out their work in plain sight fills me with a sense of deep foreboding. What? Ooh, achievement. Nice. Alright, what's up? I'm afraid there's no rest for the weary, Verona. We must delve further into the motivations of the masked man, the Asian known as La Habre. This is an ideal moment to do so while our hands are not bound dealing with the other primal. At present, we know little and less about Asians, only the destruction follows in their wake. I should not be surprised if these beings are behind the chaos that racks the realm. If my fears prove to be reality, we must do all in our power to stop them. Earlier, I sent word to each Grand Company to solicit cooperation. The Immortal Flames responded to the effect that they have information on a potential sighting. This is intelligence that we can ill afford to ignore. Go speak with Flame Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Odaa and inquire further. How you go about the investigation thereafter, I leave wholly to your discretion. But whatever you do, never forget that we're dealing with the unknown. You cannot take too many precautions. Be safe, Verona. No, of course. I'm always safe as my middle name. It's not, but yeah, anyway. Okay, alright, cool, let's go. Yeah, so I was talking about the money, using money as tools, right? And making sure your money works for you. And every dollar you spend is $1 that cannot work for you. That is $1 that's working for somebody else, right? Think about it that way. I think it's good to visualize that a little bit. It's good to think about money other than just money to be able to buy things. Think of money as tools, and the more tools you have, the more ability you have to work on something, right? So for example, you know, if you're working on building a house, you would at least need a hammer, right? And you need other tools as well. You need hand tools, you need big machines, you need all sorts of things. And if you don't have any of this stuff, it's gonna be a lot harder. And the more tools you have at your disposal, let's say you get access to a excavator, you get access to like bobcats, you get access to power tools, and the more tools you have, the more ability you have to work on bigger and bigger houses, and faster you can work on these houses, right? So that's what basically money does for you. And the whole idea is that you save up for these tools and you build more of your tools as you can, right? Oh man, people look so cool, dude. You look so good. Alright, Swift, what you got for me? A mask, man. Ah, you come on behalf of the Scions. Of course, yes. As we've already relayed to Lady Menthilia, there has been sighting of this rogue near about eastern Thanalan. A brass blade stationed at Hidden High Bridge described him in detail when he alerted us to suspicious activities. I will point you to the witness, but I'm afraid he died not 2 days ago, slain by a marauding horde of Chincharin. Fate can be a cruel mistress. But do not be too quick to despair. Being situated on the trade route, High Bridge sees its fair share of travelers. Folks are always coming and going, and some among them may well have caught a glimpse of your target. You could do worse than to speak with a merchant named Hihibaru. The fellow's always starved for customers. He no doubt welcome your attention, whether or not you have coin or the mind to spend it. Alright. And I think in these day and age, it's too easy to think of money as just Oh yeah, that's how you buy things, and that's what you would use to buy things. And it just, I feel like it's not our fault, you know. The whole capitalism is really working against us. All the advertising and all the social media, it's all about, oh, live this luxury life, live this great life, spend all the money you can, you know, have experience, oh, do this, do that. And none of them really goes like, hey, maybe you should save your money. Because they don't make money from that, right? People don't make money if you save money. If you're saving $1, that's $1 they cannot make. So they don't really teach you, hey, you should really be saving your money. And whenever growing up, my parents always told me, hey, you gotta save. And of course, me working in a rather volatile industry, I've always taught myself to save as much money as I possibly could, and I always budget on like half of my salary, you know. And I just really want to be able to be secure about my finances, and obviously don't have debt, right? And I think, who was it? I think it was Warren Buffett who said, you know, the way to be rich is spend less money than you make. And I was like, it's so obvious, isn't it? But again, different people have different situations. I assume if you're watching this video, you have disposable income and you're doing pretty well for yourself. And you're not working like 4 jobs to be able to get by, right? Welcome to Highbridge, adventurer. Whatever you seek, Hihibaru can provide it. Probably. Oh, you are after a masked man. I'm not sure I have one of those. As I go on, I like, oh, you're after a masked man. Why didn't you say so sooner? Such an individual might have featured in one of my many rumors I've heard, you know? If you linger a while, mayhaps you'll learn a thing or two, eh? That's the point. That's why I'm here, dude. Maybe. When the Order of the Nautau began excavating the ruins below, I had hopes that Highbridge would turn into a bustling hub for pilgrims. But thanks to the 9 endless beastmen raid, folks are too afraid to come within a mile of here. I sold everything I owned to get my venture started, and I'm loath to give up without making an earnest effort to stick it out. But if things keep going as they are, I'll be bankrupt before the moon is through. Whining won't do me any good, though. No, for my business to survive, I need business. Speaking of which, perhaps you'd like to browse my wares? Spend a little coin to help struggling merchant? Oh, the masked man. Blah. Thou take you bloody masked man. I know what I said before, but vague rumors are all I've got. If you want to know about him, go ask around the other merchants. Sure, I'll do that. Alright, what you got, merchant? You got some of that information? I have heard tales of the masked devil. Seems he been appearing not only around Highbridge but elsewhere about Thanaland too. Enough folk have reported seeing him to convince me that he's more than a figment of imagination, but little is known about him otherwise. Fuck, you know help, dude. Alright, do I have to go down there? What's the situation here? Oh, they're up there. Of course. Alright, let's jump on the chocobo. Yeah, so spending less money than you make, and of course, invest wisely. And it's a good idea to obviously invest in ETFs, index funds, at least at first. And once you're a little bit more familiar with it, it's like, you can invest in other things, but you know, not a financial advisor here. On the trail of masked man, I've heard of him, but only in hushed tones and faint whispers. It is said that he wore a black hooded robe. Looks right suspicious, and that's all I can say, little though it is. Not very helpful, dude. Whatever, but you know, I'll take what I can get. Alright, what you got, dude? Impassive merch. Have I seen the masked man wearing black dark robe? No, I haven't, nor do I wish to. Business is bad enough without shady characters lurking around. Folk have been giving Highbridge a wide berth because all the jitter and raids. None but the most devout of pilgrims are willing to come here anymore. Nah, you're not very helpful, here. Alright, ain't nobody got good information, dude. Ain't nobody got good information. Alright, Hibabu, what you got? Judging by your expression, I take you didn't learn much of use. Look, I'm sorry for my rudeness earlier. It's just that things are tough for us merchants at the moment. The Chintarin raids are so constant, so organized. We're beginning to suspect that someone is orchestrating. That's what he's doing. La Habrea. That's what he's doing. He's organizing all this shit, right? Wasn't he doing that before? I tend to put my own welfare first, like most of us do. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I promise to keep an eye out for your mask, man. If I see or hear anything, you'll be first to know. Thank you. That's all I ask. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah. Never had your information. I finally got some honest to God's information on your masked man. Why so confident? Because I saw him with my own 2 eyes. I was out for an evening stroll, minding my own business, when I noticed a column of black smoke rising from a cliff over a thousand respite. Curious, I took myself there to find a masked man. Your masked man, I'm sure of it, standing by a fire. And as if in answer, some Chicherin appeared soon after, and the group began talking at length. I'm afraid I was too far out of earshot to hear much of anything. After the group had dispersed, an idea came to me. If you were to use the smoldering coal to start a fire, you might be able to arrange a similar meeting. It will be dangerous. Sure, I don't doubt. I shouldn't doubt, but you've proven yourself more than a match for a pack of rats. So, what do you think? That's some sound, reliable information, right? Even if I do say so myself. Well, with all the lingering about you've been doing, wouldn't you say? I would say so, yes. Yes, indeed. Very good information. That's useful information. Alright, let's go. And of course, it's easier said than done to spend less than you make. Right? Now, if you make a lot of money, it's easy. Or easier, let's just say it that way. But if you don't make a whole lot of money, it becomes a lot harder. And so I think it's... Now, I always am under the opinion that making a lot of money is not easy. It is hard, in fact. If it were easy, everybody would be billionaires. But saving money is relatively easy. Anybody can do it. As long as you have some spare change, you can do it. Now, people always think, hey, what is $5 going to do? What is $10 going to do? Right? Remember what I was talking about earlier, where if you had saved money when you were 20 and by the time you're 85, that $1 becomes $88, right? And if you think about it that way, it is a big difference. It's 88 times what it was before, right? So if you have $1 million by your age 20, you got $88 million by the time you're 65, right? Or, yeah. So, people always underestimate the power of time and how much of a difference time can make, right? I can't remember who it was that said people overestimate the change that you can make in a year and underestimate the change you can make in 10. So if you save $5 every day, or let's just say every day, right? $5 every day. It's not a whole lot of money, and most people can afford that. And it's just like a coffee a day, a Starbucks a day. And if you were to take that money and you save it, it's not. It is more money than you think even in a year. And people think, oh, what is $5 going to do? What difference does $5 going to make? Right? And let's say, there's like 365 days and you save $5 a day every day, and you probably end up with something like, let's say about around $2,000 a year. And you're thinking, hey, that's not a whole lot of money. But if you take that money and you invest it, right? By the time you're retired, that $2,000, right? By the rule of 88, what do you have? You have almost $160,000. Right? I think that's how it works out, right? So it's like $2,000 you times by 88, so 80 times the $2,000 is $160,000. And you wouldn't bat an eye at $160,000, you would say, wow, that's a lot of money. And that's the difference $2,000 make over the 40 or so years that you're going to retire. And that's how powerful time is. And $2,000, nobody would say that's a lot of money. You would say, oh, yeah, it's a good chunk, but it's not a significant amount of money, right? But nobody would say, oh, 160,000? Nobody cares, right? Almost 170,000. So, oh, yeah, it's nothing. You wouldn't say that. Nobody would say that because it's a lot of money. And I think sometimes knowing how much money you could potentially have helps people realize, oh, it's more than you think. What? Are we doubling up on the event? What the hell's going on? What is going on? Oh my god, this is forever. Man, maybe it's just people don't realize how big of a difference time makes, or how powerful time is. That's without that's just investing in the ETF, right? And that's without you putting in more money. And imagine every year you save $2,000, and over time, you know, not all $2,000 will become $160,000. The later you are in life, the less money that $2,000 will become. But if you just keep on saving, it will always surprise you how much money you end up with. So, you know, I always go to an investment calculator online, and you can just look it up yourself too, and just to see, okay, how much money are we going to get with if I were to save $2,000 every year, and over my career, how much money would I end up with in, say, for example, 40 years? Again, 40 years is a long time, and it is, of course, a huge leap in time, and people are like, oh yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in 40 years. The most likely situation is that you will live far longer than 40 years, right? And let's just say you're around my age 30, 35, somewhere around there. You are going to be living far longer than 40 more years, right? You'll probably live until you're 80, 85 or something like that. And that's what? Like another 50 or 60 years from now. Right? It's a long time. And usually people retire around, what, 65, 70? And that's still another 10, 20 years to go after retirement. So it is important to think about retirement. What are you going to do without after? Are you going to keep working until you die? You know, what's the plan, right? So it's always good to think about saving money. As soon as I'm finished here, I'll do a quick investment calculation just to see how much $2,000 would be if you were to invest $2,000 every year from the age 20 to age 65. How much money we will end up with. Right, but anyway, so I was talking with my friend again, thinking about like spenders and savers, and of course, you know, I don't come from a place of judgment. I never want to judge people on how they want to spend their money. It is well within their right. If they've earned the money fair and square, they're able to spend it however they want, no matter on whatever they want. It is, however, curious for me to see how other people spend their money, just because I live in a way where I save a lot, and I've never really live any other way, just because that's how I was brought up. That's how my parents taught me to live, and that's how my parents taught me to deal with money, is to save. And they're the same thing, you know, they are very careful with the money they spend. They don't buy anything extravagant. They don't go out to eat a lot, and they've always also told me that you need to buy a house as early as possible. And I feel like not everybody gets advice like these, and not everybody gets the right advice, and not everybody has somebody to ask about these things. And it's always a taboo topic to talk about. Is it still going? Why is it still going? Okay, I've had enough of this crap. I'm not doing this anymore. I did some rudimentary calculation here, starting with $2,000, right? Starting with $2,000, you invest that over 40 years, and every year you put in $2,000. And based on a 10% return rate, which is what the S&P 500 have averaged on average return, which is about what I'm seeing actually in my portfolio, about 10.5%, something like that over the past 6 or 7 years. It'll be 1.2, almost 1.22 million dollars in 40 years. And if you want to be a little bit more conservative in terms of the return, so let's say if you put it back to 8% return, starting the same thing, everything the same, it will only end up with $655,000. I mean, it's still a good amount of money, right? It's not a small amount of money. And if you're looking at around like 11%, you're looking at $1.7 million. That's a lot of money. Even on a more conservative return of 8%, you're still looking at almost like $650,000. That's not a small amount of money. And that's just $2,000 a year from age 20. Think about it. Only $2,000 a year. $200 a month. Not even $200 a month. Almost everybody can afford that. Right? It's $5 a day. It's not that much money. What do I do with this? Wait a minute, what? Oh, can I use this? There we go. Hostile. You can't hit me. You can't hit me, bitch. Oh yeah, dude. Nice. Alright. What kind of information did I get? What is this? Can I... What is it? It's like a bowling pin. Alright. Present the word of destroyer to Hibaru. Okay, alright, let's go. So maybe sometimes it's nice to see just what is possible. Because I think you're thinking, hey, I'm only saving $2,000 a year. What is that gonna be? It's gonna be nothing. And you're thinking, hey, I might as well just spend it, because what am I gonna do with $2,000? Is how much money could it possibly turn to in whatever, however long period of time? And if you're asking somebody, hey, would you like $1.2 million? And I believe most people would say, hell yeah, I want $1.2 million. And if you just save $2,000 a year, since you're age 20, you will have $1.2 million by the end of it. I think we'll have more people saving more money. Yeah? And it's just really, I think, not knowing what's possible or not knowing what you're missing is stopping people from saving. Back so soon? Were you able to find any clue leading to your masked man? There you go. Have you seen this before? This scroll, it bears the prayer to Ragor, the Destroyer. In case you're unfamiliar, Ragor is the guardian deity of Alamigo, which is currently under Gralian rule. It is highly uncommon for folk of other nations to revere him. I'd wager my last guild that you assailant was Alamigan. It seems this masked man of yours is very well connected. I must confess, the merchant in me envies such a diverse network of contacts. That self-same merchant also senses danger ahead, and darkness besides. Are you certain you'd rather not take things nice and slow here at Highbridge? Help you with investigation, alright. The Alamigan bandit you had a run-in with is somehow connected to your masked man of mystery. So it stands to reason that if you want to pick up the trail again, you should head towards Little Alamigo, over in southern Thanalan. Just so you know what to expect, the settlement is the favored destination for those refugees who couldn't, well, adapt to life in Oda. The hearts of the denizens are said to be as barren as the wasteland they live in, and for all intents and purposes is a lawless place. Be prepared for not so warm welcome. Now, I'm not certain how much help she will be, but it just so happens I have a daughter who has relocated to Little Alamigo. Her name is Hihira, so it shouldn't hurt to seek her out first. And while you have her attention, I'd be obliged if you could send my love. Not a day goes by that I don't think of her. Aw, I suppose this is it then. I had hoped that you would linger here a while, call some friends, spend some coin, what have you. But something tells me you're destined for greater things. Wherever it is that you end up, I wish you the best. Oh, thank you. That's actually really helpful. Alright, little amigo. Where? Okay. Yeah, we can't actually go there, so I'm gonna head down there. Boom, right there. Okay, easy, bro. Easy, we'll go there. Alright, let's jump on it, and let's go. Yeah. You know what? I think the other thing is, right, I don't want to come off as telling people how they should do with their money, and I think it's just people need to know the option. Oh, rain, beautiful. People just need to know the option. Like, okay, there's more than one option other than just splitting everything you make, right? And sometimes it's a good option to choose as well. It's not just about spending money and owning all the things. And that's something else we can talk about later. The idea of material possessions. People buy things because they're told that they need the material possessions. And there's other options in there as well. I think that's something we can talk about later. And yeah, it just because of my friends buying the house, and we were discussing with them how much money they can afford and what can they buy and what is the best thing that they can buy for the money that they have, and just the topic came up, and it was interesting because, you know, I personally, I'm really interested in both real estate and investing and saving money and all that stuff, right? And it's really something that I feel like not everybody gets an opportunity to really learn about, and schools obviously don't teach you, and a lot of the parents don't teach you. And when I was talking to some students, they don't seem to have a good idea of what they should do with the money, even if they're like college. They're college students, right? And they're heading into the workforce, and it's not really a topic that they've really discussed. And their parents are actually, a lot of the things I've heard from parents is that even the parents don't understand how basic things work. Like, say, for example, how does a credit card work, right? And it's these cactuses are so cute, and it is a little bit of a mystery, let's say it that way, that people don't understand how credit cards work, right? And it's actually a funny thing. The other day, my daughter was saying, we were talking about spending money or something, and my daughter was like, but you use a credit card, and she thinks that somebody else pays their credit card. I was like, no, we pay for the credit card. Right? I think that's actually her. I think she sums up it perfectly how some people think how credit cards work, where it's just somebody else's money. No, you have to pay it back. It's not like you just spend the money and nothing happens and you just good to go, right? It's not how it works. But anyway, yeah. So the idea that people don't get an education in finance, people don't get an education in personal finance, people don't get an education in investing, in their financial futures, in safeguarding their financial futures, in let's just say preserving their financial future. Not getting an education in that is really devastating to some people. And in fact, I think people would do better if the schools, or at least their parents, taught them about, hey, here's what money can be, here's what money can do for you, and how you should treat money, and how you should really take care and say, this is my money, this is my financial future, and I need to take charge. Let's talk to Hihira. Why, yes, Hihibaru is my father. He said, what? I wish I could be a better daughter to him. It's just... Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't bother you with my family matters, but I'm grateful to you for delivering the message. Now then, what brings you here? A masked man. I'm afraid the situation doesn't ring any bells, but one of the others here may have seen something. I would recommend you first speak with Gundabald, the leader of the settlement. I must warn you, though, he isn't exactly accommodating to outsiders. Alright, you look cool. Are you gonna sell me KFC? Who are you? State your business and be quick about it. Looking for a masked villain, you say? Why should we help you, pray? We struggle enough without having to answer the whim of every outsider. You're not welcome here. Be gone. Alright, that was easy. You got some sweet eye tats, that's for sure. Oh, shoot. Okay, the one that got away. I think, you know what, we'll finish it here, because I think we've talked a little enough about the topics, and we've done enough here in this episode. And I feel like the money topic is a big topic, right? And it's really hard to cover all of it in one sitting. And it's an important thing, you know, people talk about it. I'm sure you can find a lot of information online nowadays. So there's no shortage of information, but I think maybe people just need a direction. People need to say, okay, look into this, look into that. And if you want to hear a little bit more about that, we can talk, leave a comment and we'll talk about it next episode. But if not, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed your day. I'm recording this on Canada Day, so happy Canada Day if you're Canadian. And take care of yourself, take care of anybody you could, and take care of whatever you can. Take care of all the things that you own as well. And have a good one. See you guys next time. Bye.